Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. We are going to be doing a 2021 NFL Redraft. I'm going to be going back through. I have the draft order after the draft, so this includes trade-ups. So we'll talk about the trade-ups when we get there, but I'm going to be going through all 32 picks of the first round and saying who I would draft knowing what we know from the regular season so far. We still have 1 week left, but we have a pretty good gauge on how the rookies have been playing. So we're just going to go ahead and get started right here. First pick, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I don't think there's any debate. If I'm the Jaguars, I'm doing a redraft. I'm going Trevor Lawrence again. We've seen the talent. He's had one of the worst situations we've ever had for a rookie quarterback, and we've had one of the worst coaching situations we've seen. He has to go into that. He has no receivers. I'd like to see him with receivers. I still think he's a number one player, number one quarterback in this class, and so he's going number one. Now, number two, the Jets. I debated this pick. There's someone I want to go high, but the Jets need a quarterback. And so for that reason, I'm still going quarterback, and I'm still going Zach Wilson. Especially the last couple of weeks, Zach Wilson has shown a lot of flashes. I think he has that insane arm talent. He has one of the quickest releases in the NFL, and he's throwing a lot of picks, but his arm talent is up there top 5 in the NFL. He's up there with kind of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, the arm talent he has. Now, I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers, but his arm talent is up there with Aaron Rodgers, and you don't let that pass if you're the Jets. He's the number 2 pick for a reason. I'm sticking the same. Now, the Niners come up here. Now, realistically, if I'm the Niners and I've seen what we've been doing with Jimmy G, I would have just sat at our pick and see what falls to us. If a quarterback does fall, we pick him there. If there's no quarterbacks, we can still take one of these top talents and try and win it this year. But we're going to go with they're still trading up. They still want that quarterback. Now, we're back to the argument that we had all draft season, and it's still going on. Trey Lance versus Mac Jones. Now, a lot of you guys out there might be saying, oh, this is obvious. Let's just go Mac Jones. He's probably Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's looked great. I'm not taking Mac Jones. I am taking Trey Lance still with 3rd overall pick. Now, this is what I have to say. Trey Lance didn't look too great in his second start this past week against the Houston Texans, but we saw exactly what we expected from Trey Lance and the exact reason he went 3rd overall pick. He has not played a lot of football. We saw that he was running lateral and tried trucking a dude. He hasn't played a lot of football. He doesn't have a lot of experience, and we knew that. He's a project, but we also saw the arm talent. That throw up the seam to George Kittle, that's a beautiful throw. Get George Kittle to make a good play, but he throws that any lower, it could have been picked. He throws that any higher, it's overthrown, it's also a pick. So that's an NFL throw. You saw him rolling out. He throws back across the field 50 yards to Deebo Samuel. That's a beautiful throw. We've seen the arm talent. He hasn't played a lot of football. He's going to take time. That's why the Niners took him, and they're not planning on starting him the first year because they have Jimmy G. So I'm sticking with the same plan. He has talent. He will be better than Mac Jones one day. You can clip this, put it anywhere, and give me 3 years. Trey Lance is better than Mac Jones. I don't doubt that at all. That's my take. Now, pick 4, the Atlanta Falcons. This is where the top 3 picks I kept the same. They need quarterbacks. They go get their quarterbacks. I think they took them in the right order. But pick 4 is where I differ. We have Kyle Pitts. I don't think Kyle Pitts is a bad pick at all. I think you still could go Kyle Pitts here. But if I am picking at pick 4 after the draft, I'm going a little out of the way. We're going with Micah Parsons. Here's my hot take on Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, now this is coming from an Eagle. I'm an Eagles fan. This is coming from an Eagles fan. Micah Parsons already is a top 5 edge rusher and a top 5 off-ball linebacker in the NFL. I don't see any argument against it. When DeMarcus Lawrence was hurt, he wasn't playing, Micah Parsons stepped in, top 5 edge rusher. DeMarcus Lawrence is back. They have Lawrence and Gregory at the end. They don't need him. Slide back to off-ball linebacker. Let's go ahead and be a top 5 off-ball linebacker. Oh, he could play slot corner. You see, he's covering slot fades. He could be a slot. He can do everything for you. And Atlanta doesn't have a good pass rush. Micah Parsons would be their edge one, and he could win Defensive Player of the Year. We haven't had a rookie win Defensive Player of the Year since Lawrence Taylor, arguably the best defensive player of all time. Now that's an argument with Aaron Donald, which I might be taking Aaron Donald, but that's not what we're arguing about. If you're mentioned in the same tier as Lawrence Taylor, I arguably would have taken him 1 or 2. I think he's worth the 1st or 2nd overall pick in the draft. But because of quarterback and, the need for quarterback, I'm still having them go Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson and Trey Lance 1, 2, 3. But the first, you're honestly, I don't see how you could take any other non-quarterback over Micah Parsons after what we've seen. I just don't think you can. So I'm going Micah Parsons at 4. Now at pick 5, I think the Bengals made the right pick. Jamar Chase. We had the whole Sewell debate. Could they take a tackle and still be good? Yes. But that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow connection is what makes it dangerous. Now, Jamar Chase has been great. Joe Burrow has been great. But I think that part of the reason Jamar Chase is breaking these records is because you've seen that chemistry. I mean, Joe Burrow said in his interview, you know what, F it, Jamar Chase is out there somewhere. They have that chemistry. Joe Burrow's throwing beautiful back shoulder balls, getting it in only places where Jamar Chase can catch it. I mean, that's that chemistry that came in with LSU. I think they made the right pick. They have probably the best receiving core in the league. And I think next year, hot day, they're going to have the best offense in the NFL. Better than the Chiefs, better than the Packers, better than the Cardinals. They're going to have the best offense in the NFL next year. And, I mean, their top 2 receivers are in their first and second year, and they're probably both top 20 receivers in the NFL. Arguably top 15. That's pretty insane. Now, number 6, the Miami Dolphins. This is interesting. I don't think Waddle was a bad pick. I definitely would never trade next year's first for a receiver. But I'm actually going to have them going Rashawn Slater here. Rashawn Slater's been arguably I forget. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler, but he could have been a Pro Bowler. I mean, he has been insane. One of the best rookie tackle performances we've seen since Tristan Wirfs, which actually isn't long at all. It's only 2 years, but Tristan Wirfs is a different animal. Rashawn Slater is a different animal. I mean, dude's a beast. You could definitely help at that O-line. I have them going Rashawn Slater. Pick 7, the Detroit Lions. I'm actually going to keep Penei Sewell here. You could argue they take a quarterback. I wouldn't be against taking a quarterback here in this redraft, but I'm going to go Penei Sewell just because I think they're more than a year away. You pick a quarterback, you're close. You have a good team, or you have I don't think Mac Jones and Justin Fields are generational quarterbacks. I think one of these 3 could be a generational quarterback. That's why they go, even if you have a bad roster. I don't think they're generational, so I'm going to go Penei Sewell. You build up for the future. I thought about Waddle and Pitts. Those wouldn't be bad picks here if you want to get some talent out there. Definitely would not be against either one of those 2, but I'm still going to stick with Penei Sewell. Beef up that O-line. He'll be your tackle for the next 15 years as long as some crazy stuff doesn't happen in that franchise. Now pick 8 is where it gets interesting. We have the Carolina Panthers. I want to go quarterback here. Sam Darnold is not the answer. Cam Newton is definitely not the answer. But you trade a second for Sam Darnold. You should pick I still feel like they should pick a quarterback. But if I'm on this board, I'm not letting Kyle Pitts fall. I'm taking Kyle Pitts. And, I mean, you just go get any half-decent quarterback. You draft Davis Mills in the second round. You go out and, I don't know, trade for Teddy Bridgewater back even. You get a decent quarterback, and that is, I mean, arguably that's better than the Bengals' weapons. We've been arguing about that. You add Kyle Pitts in that offense with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I mean, assuming they still take Terrence Marshall. I mean, that's dangerous. You have some of the top weapons, and you go out and just get a decent quarterback, and that team can be good because they have a decent defense. I think you just can't pass up on Kyle Pitts. He's a generational tight end, one of the best. He's about to break the rookie tight end receiving record. He already went over 1,000 yards. I mean, there's not much more we can say about how good he is. Moving on to the 9th overall pick, we have the Denver Broncos. I probably should be saying who they originally took, in case you forget. They took Patrick Surtain here at 9, which, yet again, not a bad pick, but if I'm the Broncos, I'm back up at 9. You have some of the best weapons in the NFL. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, KJ Hamler. I mean, he ended up getting hurt. Tim Patrick, Javonte Williams, assuming they still take him in the second round. Melvin Gordon. That offense is loaded. You have a decent O-line. They've been very injury-prone this year, a lot of injuries, but it's still a decent O-line. You need someone. Their quarterback situation's been awful. I'm going to actually take Mac Jones here. And Mac Jones with those weapons, I mean, that'd be dangerous. That would definitely be dangerous. I would love to see, you could say Justin Fields, but Justin Fields is going to take a couple years. He has way more talent than Mac Jones, but he'll take a couple years. Mac Jones will come and run that offense day one. Their defense is already top tier. Now, the defense wouldn't be as good without Patrick Surtain, which I'm not having here, but they still got cornerback talent. They still have Darby and Fuller, still have Bryce Callahan. I mean, they still have dudes out there. I think they'll still be good, even on defense. They'll still have a really good, probably top 10 defense with Mac Jones. I should say you probably have a top 10 offense also. And they're probably in the playoffs for sure if they took Mac Jones right here. Pick 10, Philadelphia Eagles. You could go a lot of places. I'm going to stick with receiver because their receivers would be pretty awful without Devontae Smith. But I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. I've liked what I've seen from Jalen Waddle. Now, Devontae Smith, I think, is being hidden by some not great quarterback play, throwing the ball from Jalen Hurts. But, I mean, we've seen Waddle. He's a deep threat that hasn't even been tapped into by Miami. And underneath, I mean, he's running every route. He's great in gadget plays, one of the most explosive players. He's already a top 15 receiver in my books. I saw Mike Renner saying that. And I don't see how you could argue against that. And so I'm going Jalen Waddle over Devontae Smith. And that's going to be a great pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, pick number 11. The Bears trade up. This is where they trade up. I'm still going to have them trading up. They still take Justin Fields. I think that was the right pick. Great decision for that franchise. Finally, get yourself a quarterback. He's raw. He still has those issues where he stares down receivers. He doesn't really go through progressions that well. But he's also had an awful offensive coordinator and not great offensive talent around him for the Bears. So I still have hope in him. I think he's still the right pick. Keep going. Now, pick 12. The Cowboys, they took Micah Parsons. He went way before them. So now they're on the board. I'm going to go with what honestly everyone thought they would do probably before the draft. And I'm going to go here, pick 12, Patrick Surtain. He's looked great as a rookie. We knew coming in he was one of the most pro-ready rookie quarterbacks. And he's pro-ready. He was great this year. He's probably going to be a top 10 cornerback next year. I wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead and get him, pair him with Diggs, because Diggs is overrated. Diggs is the most overrated corner in the NFL. He's given up like the most yards out of any corner in the league this year. Yes, he gets a lot of picks, and I do think you have to take that into account because turnovers are huge. I mean, it's the whole debate. Would you rather have a corner that never allows any yards or allows a lot of yards and gets a lot of picks? You could argue either way. I would rather not allow any yards, but those turnovers are huge. They can be momentum-changing big plays. So, I mean, it's hard, but you definitely get Pat Surtain here. Definitely a top 10 talent. You're getting him at 12. That's a great pick. Now, pick 13, the Los Angeles Chargers. They also get screwed. They had Slater. He falls a lot more. I'm still going tackle. I think tackle was a great pick for them. And I'm going to go Samuel Cosmi. He's looked great in Washington. A lot better than we thought. He was a late second-round pick for Washington football team, and he's looked great. I think he's definitely been the third best tackle we've seen from this class, and I don't think there's argument about him going 13 right here to the Chargers. Stick with that tackle, protect Herbert, and you're pretty much in the same situation. He's just a little worse than Slater, but I mean, it's pretty much the same kind of situation for them, same position that they're picking. Now, 14, we have the New York Jets. They traded up initially for Elijah Vera Tucker, but I think this time, with how the board falls out, they trade up and they get themselves Devontae Smith, another possibly top 10 talent. He's looked great this year for Philly. You've seen the catching ability. Pair him in there with Zach Wilson, and you have him. You probably don't end up picking Elijah Moore. He probably replaces Elijah Moore, and then you can go somewhere else in the second round. And then, yeah, just put him in that offense with Jamison Crowder. Corey Davis was looking good until the injuries hit him hard. And that's a great pick for the Jets. Devontae Smith at 14. Now, 15, we have the New England Patriots. I'm going to go J.C. Horn. He is perfect for what they do. Their man coverage, playing up in their face. Now, I know J.C. Horn is out, and he missed, I'm pretty sure, the entire season. Maybe he played like week 1 or 2. So it's hard. You're taking that injury risk with him. But, I mean, in the preseason, what we saw from when he did play in the regular season, he looked really good. And I think he will be really good. I'm really excited to see that Panthers defense next year. You give Brian Burns another year, pair Gilmore and Horn on the outside. That's a dangerous defense. It's going to be interesting to see. If Carolina can get a quarterback, they could be a contender next year if they can get a good quarterback. So I think that should be Carolina's number one objective. They should be all in on Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, any of those guys. If Deshaun Watson, if the Dolphins get Watson, they should be in on Tua. they need to be all in on a quarterback, because if they get a quarterback, they have a contender roster. So we'll just have to see what they do there. Now pick 16. The Cardinals select. Oh yeah, by the way, with the quarterback situation, will be tough in New England with this. Maybe they try and snag Davis Mills in the second round, but I'm not taking Davis Mills, Trask, Mont. There's no other quarterback I would take in the first round, so they're going to stick here and just get J.C. Horn. Now, number 16, they originally took Zaven Collins, which I don't think was a great pick. I didn't mark it that high. But here, we're going to go with Elijah Vera Tucker, who's looked very solid at guard for the Jets. He's played well. You just want to beef up that O-line, help protect Kyler. He's great off the – like, if you can give Kyler time to run around and do his things, that's great. Go ahead and get yourself Elijah Vera Tucker. Beef up that O-line a little bit more. Now, pick 17. The Las Vegas Raiders, they initially had the worst first-round pick in the draft, but we're going to change that. We're going to help them out, and they're going to have an interesting pick. It would have looked like an awful pick at first if this happened on draft day, but it turns out it would be an incredible pick. We're going to go Creed Humphrey at pick 17. They target O-line. We're going to still target O-line. We're going to get the best center. I mean, I was saying this before the draft. I said he was one of the best center prospects we've seen in years, and he reminded me of Jason Kelce a lot. A little bit undersized, but he works, he moves. I didn't see why he fell to where he did. I thought he was a first round pick before the process, and look at him. He's the highest graded center total overall. He's higher than Jason Kelce. He's a baller. The dude's a baller. You pick him at 17, and that's a great pick. He's an all-pro center. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he should be the AFC all-pro first-team center. I don't see why he shouldn't be. And you get him, that's way better than Alex Leatherwood. Pick 18 now. Miami Dolphins are back up on the board. We had them, so they originally go Waddle. We have them getting a tackle. So now we want to still attack receiver because the receivers are rough without Waddle. So we're still going to go receiver. We're going to actually go Elijah Moore here. Elijah Moore, some people thought he could only play slot. He's shown he can play outside. He's been hit with the injury bug a little lately, but he had like a 4 or 5 week span where he was balling. It didn't matter if it was Joe Flacco at quarterback or Zach Wilson. I mean, he was just balling. And I mean, Elijah Moore's a stud. I think he's definitely the next receiver off the board. If we were to redraft, he can play inside, he can play outside, he gets open. And that's just basically the replacement for Waddle. And I think that's a great pick. I think that's a great pick for Miami. Now, number 19, the Washington football team. They originally go Jamin Davis, a huge reach. We're going to have them getting some cornerback help, and we're going to have them going Greg Newsome II. He's been really good for the Browns. They have a lot of depth there, the Browns do, but he's been balling. He's slid in. It's really between him and Asante Samuel for me if you're going corner. And I just like Greg Newsome a little better. I think Asante Samuel might be having a little better season this year, but I like Greg Newsome better. They'd both be a really good pick. I mean, you could go a lot of directions if you're Washington, but I just like the Greg Newsome route probably the most. Now, number 20, the New York Giants. They originally get Kadarius Toney. I'm gonna have them getting the top edge rusher in the class. Now, I'm going Kwity Paye. I don't know. I still couldn't tell you who the best edge rusher would be in this class. Kwity Paye's look good. Jalen Phillips has looked good. Azeez Ojulari, who the Giants take in the second round, he's looked pretty good. He's been kind of up and down. He is what we thought he would be, kind of hot and cold edge rusher. When he's hot, he looks really good. When he's cold, he's not that great. Greg Rousseau's been a lot better than I thought. Jason Oweh's a guy I thought about here. And I was going to go on the next pick. The next pick, the Colts originally take Kwity Paye. I have them taking Jason Oweh. He's had his ups and downs. We've seen the athleticism. He already has more sacks in the NFL than he did in college. I mean, that's not that hard. He just had to get 1 sack. But he's looked athletic. He's looked good. I like what I've seen from Jason Oweh. The Colts end up just getting a different edge rusher. Not really much changes for them. Now, pick 22, the Tennessee Titans. This is I honestly had no idea where I wanted to go with this pick. They're one of the harder teams to draft for. They don't have any glaring needs. And I'm going to end up going Landon Dickerson. Beef up that O-line. He's graded really well. He's graded one of the best run blockers in the interior line. We've seen he can play guard. He played center, so he can obviously play that. He can play center or guard, move him around. He's a mauler. Pairing him with Derrick Henry or even Deontay Foreman, I mean, he's just going to help that run game so much more, and that's what they want to do. So I think Landon Dickerson would be great in that offense. It'd be great to just see him mauling dudes for Derrick Henry. I think that'd be incredible for the Titans. Now, pick 23, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to have them. They originally take Christian Darrisaw here. And I'm actually just going to keep the Darrisaw pick. I think they need O-line. He'll help in the future. They could go D-end. I think that's definitely another position they could attack. Definitely wouldn't mind a Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau, Joe Tryon. I wouldn't mind any of the... Oh, by the way, I should mention, I said Jason Owe. It's Odafe Owe. I'm sorry. He wanted to be called Odafe now. Odafe Owe, I'm sorry. It just says Jason on here. That's why I threw it off. But, yeah, Darrisaw, I think you just keep that pick. 24 for the Steelers. This is another hard pick. I'm definitely not going Najee Harris. I think that was an awful just value pick. I think that's too high a value. I really think they need O-line. And honestly, I'm going to go Trey Smith here. I think they need to beef up that O-line. It's awful right now. Trey Smith has been balling for the Chiefs. Really got steals with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. So, yeah, if you're here, the Steelers, they take Trey Smith, just beef up that O-line, help Big Ben out. If you end up getting a running back later in the draft, help them out. I mean, maybe you get Najee in the second. If I were drafting, he'd fall to the second, but who knows. 25, the Jaguars take Travis Etienne originally. I'm definitely also not going that route. They need to just take best player available, and one of the best players left is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. JOK falls to the second round somehow. I know there were some medical issues, but still, this dude's a baller. He came out flying right out the gates, and he's been great for the Browns. He's going to be great. That's a steal for the Jaguars to get him at 25, and yet it was a steal for the Browns to get him in the second round. Now 26, the Cleveland Browns are up. They take Greg Newsome originally in this spot. We've seen what happened with Odell, assuming, in this draft. We've seen Jarvis Landry's all right in the slot. We need another receiver. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman. I think he's the next best. Now, you could argue Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's been balling as of lately, but I think he's kind of similar to what Jarvis Landry brings to the table in a really good slot guy, kind of gadget guy. He's kind of like what Jarvis Landry is. So Rashad Bateman brings something different, an outside receiver who can win on routes, and so that's where I'm going. 26, Rashad Bateman. Number 27 now, the Baltimore Ravens. This pick was Odafe Owe, I believe, or was it Bateman? It was either I think it was Bateman here. They took Bateman at 27 and Owe later, so we're here at pick 27. A little interesting pick. I'm going Christian Barmore. I think he's still even a steal here at 27. He could be a top 20 pick, I think, if I redid this draft and go separate ways. I think he could easily be a top 20 pick. He's been balling. No idea how he fell to the second round, but he's been a great D-tackle for New England. He was one of the steals of the draft for New England. Of course New England gets the steals of the draft. They always do. Now pick 28, the New Orleans Saints. This is where I'm going to have, actually, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They need some weapons. Amon-Ra is just a natural separator. Great athlete. He's a lot better than... I honestly didn't believe in Amon-Ra. I will admit I was definitely wrong about him. I was not an Amon-Ra St. Brown believer. I didn't think he should even be like a top 3 round pick. I think he should have been a day 3. He's proven to me he should have been a day 1. I mean, he's been balling. Probably the next best receiver off the board. And he would be great for the Saints. Now, pick 29, the Green Bay Packers. They originally take Eric Stokes. I'm going to go ahead and get them the Swiss Army knife of the draft, Javon Holland. He's been balling down in Miami. He plays everywhere. He plays kind of slot corner, safeties. Mostly played safety there. But, I mean, he can play slot corner. He can be your weapon. He can fly around. That defense needs help. That defense has looked bad. They're probably wishing Christian Barmore pair him with Kenny Clark, and then you could stop the run a lot better. But Javon Holland would be a great pick. Help that defense out because they have definitely been struggling as of lately, giving up a lot of points to not that great, to Baker Mayfield. And I'm already forgetting the best player in the NFL. The Ravens quarterback, whose name is just completely escaping me. Tyler Huntley, that's whose name I couldn't. I mean, he's been so good lately. I don't see. I mean, I would trade 3 first-round picks for Jason or Tyler Huntley. I would trade 3 first-round picks. He's been the best quarterback in the NFL. Pick 30. Now we have the Buffalo Bills, who originally go Gregory Rousseau here. I'm gonna stick to the D end position. I'm gonna go Jalen Phillips though, who wasn't available to them when they picked the first time, but he's available now. I think he's better than Rousseau, and he's the same position. They're just getting the better player at the same position. Now, pick 31, the Ravens are back up. This is where they took Odafe Owe. Here, I want to attack the O-line, and I'm probably going to go attack the O-line. I'm going to go Quinn Miners. He ended up sliding to the third. I thought he'd be a second-round pick. He's looked really good. Help out that run game, help protect Lamar. Their guard, they have a guard position that's been very tough. They've had injuries along the O-line. Just get another dude, Quinn Miners, who could play center or guard, and he's just a stud interior lineman. Get him at 31. Now pick 32. This is where we're going off the board. This is a player who I'm gonna have to scroll for a while here to find him. Actually, the one thing that made the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is they were relentless at attacking corner. Corner is one of the most valuable positions in the NFL. And I was thinking Asante Samuel, and I probably would go Asante Samuel here, but I just want to bring some love to this dude's name because he has been one of the most underrated, under-talked about dudes. Nate Hobbs, he's currently a slot corner for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's just been balling. I mean, obviously, I'd probably pick Asante Samuel. I just want to bring some love to Nate Hobbs. He's been balling out in Las Vegas, and no one talks about him. So I'll bring some love to the boy Nate Hobbs at the last pick. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my redraft of the 2021 NFL First Round. Let me know what you guys would change. It was interesting to do this. One of the players I thought about the most, Micah Parsons, would be interesting where he goes with his versatility. Where he goes would be really interesting to see. A lot of other interesting wrinkles. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, do all that cute stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.